Hello, hello. Welcome to the Daily Political Tarot Readings here on the Black and Orange channel. I am known as Autumn around here. Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. I'm here at 12 noon every day of the year to take your 12 political questions and to answer them as best I can using tarot cards. This is not the news. Welcome to the Black and Orange channel. This is not the news, but we're going to look at the we're going to see what's out there in the collective energy as far as what's going on in politics and whatnot. So 10% of all income that comes into the channel goes to feedingamerica.org, which supplies food to food banks across the country. That is an ongoing thing. And we have the best moderators anywhere. Thank you to our epic troll slayers. Thank you. And people here are really friendly. So if you're watching this on replay, hello. After I'm done here, I go down to the first comment and I type in all the questions covered today and the timestamps. Also, the timestamps are in the description box. So because sometimes my comment, even if I pin it, doesn't show up randomly. So the timestamping will also be in the description box. So it's right there. And then I go back through and I watch it carefully, and I get the time stamping down to the second as best I can. So this takes time. It takes time to do all of this. I am behind on getting your messages and responding to your messages. I apologize. I am working on it. I am chipping away at it. So if you have not heard back from me, it is nothing personal, and I'm not, sitting in the great chair of happiness eating bonbons without a care in the world. I'm already having one of those, one of those special kinds of mornings you can only have on days when your toilet completely breaks. So there's stuff cropping up that he's just trying to deal with the thing. Anyway, but we're here. So I'm wearing my lucky 4-leaf clover today because it's like, okay, let's go for some good luck. So things stop breaking. Okay. We're gonna get there. All right, I have ye old notebook of questions. And right here, 12 questions. I'm going to scroll up. I'm going to look for anything in all caps. If you have a question, just put it in the chat in all caps. And other than that, please type normally when you're talking to anyone other than me. So I know that anything in all caps is directed at me. So because people have whole conversations and whatnot. So all right, I'm scrolling all the way back up and I'm looking for anything in all caps. And if I don't answer your question or there's something, YouTube does tend to cut things off. I'll be going down and it'll cut off earlier stuff, or it'll just randomly cut off stuff in the middle. If I miss your question, please just post it again in all caps, but put a YT right at the beginning, and then I will know that YouTube cut it off earlier. Oh, and I had one other, just a random question. Yes, I am left-handed. This is not reversed. I am left-handed. In fact, I am entirely left side dominant. So I'm just weird that way. All right. So let's see. There's Renee. Hiya, Autumn. We looked to see if there was anything hinky or unusually interesting about McConnell and crew going to church with Uncle Joe on inauguration morning. Do you have reason to think there is something hinky? Something hinky going on there. Because I'm sending my energy out and I am getting nada. Change of guard. Energy just feels like making nicey nice. I'm not feeling anything there. So if there was, Renee, if you know of something, if you've heard of something, please, I'd love to hear it. But the energy is not doing much for me. And my cards just fell. Oh, well. I'll have to get them in a minute. Okay. Oh, there's Steve. Okay, read Rand Paul. How much influence will he have going forward? Okay. Rand. I'm going to get the cards. Hold, please. Who was it? Somebody suggested there's a flask underneath my desk. I don't drink, but it was funny. That's to Rand Paul. We need to look at Charles Flynn again. I didn't get very conclusive cards on him yesterday. All right. But Rand Paul. Influence. Did his neighbor beat him up? Whew. Okay. Andrea, Rand Paul has no influence. Most of the GOP hate him. Fair enough, but we'll have a look. There's a question, so we'll have a look. Okay, uncover the news. Hey, Kristen, will more evidence of Trump's corruption and treason come out before or during the impeachment? More evidence against Trump. Come out during... And I'm suddenly feeling slightly lightheaded, so that's a very strong energy around that. Historians are going to be looking at that for a really long time. Anyway, Diva, will the Dems... Oh, this thing jumped, didn't it? No, it didn't. Okay. Diva, will the Dems make use of the nuclear option and dismiss Republicans' hypocritical whiny objections? Basically, destroying the filibuster. I read on that day before yesterday. And basically what I got was that Schumer doesn't want to, but he's not taking it off the table. He's not in a hurry to do it, but he's done. He's going to try to be reasonable. But the minute, but not the minute, but as soon as it just gets too much garbage from the other side, that's it. He's really, when he said last time, I will not forget what you've done here, he meant it. That's what I've been getting. So I hope that helps. Maria, hello, Autumn. You looked presidential yesterday. Thank you. Melissa, will all the people who stormed the Capitol be charged, or will the DOJ let them go? Well, they're already charging them. They're already charging multiples. Is there something more specific? Because they're definitely charging people. All right. By the way, if I don't read on your question, or I don't have enough information, or I'm just going by my intuition and it's like I don't feel like I should read on that today, it is never anything personal. I promise. I would feel terrible if I'd hurt your feelings. Okay? Oh boy. Maria, are any of the 33 children rescued in Los Angeles from the missing border children? Oh, Maria, I can't read on. I'm afraid I cannot read on that today. I will just sit here and sob, and I don't know that I'd be able to really add much. There's so many of those children who I'm just gonna move on. Different Maria. Sweet Autumn, could you read if Biden is going to compensate the XL pipeline workers, the Canadians? Okay. Will Biden compensate XL pipeline Canadian workers? I'll have a look. I'll see what I can find out, Maria. Okay, Andrea, will Biden allow the Trump kids to keep Secret Service for their whole time Trump authorized? I'm getting an empty room feeling. We'll look at that soon. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Andrea. I'm getting an empty room feeling. I get this like I've walked into an empty room. It's like there's nothing for me here today. But perhaps tomorrow or the day after. I'm sorry. Musical Neptunian. What, you're not a newsreader? No, I'm not. See you morning, Autumn. Love the emerald green. Oh, thank you. It's very dark. The camera's not picking up the color, but not much I can do about that. Okay. Anonymous. What is on your face? That was hysterical. Rosetta, will Stephen Miller's Jewish ancestors haunt him? Stephen Miller's Jewish ancestors haunt him. All right, I've got that down for number 4 for today. Paul, is Trumpy going to stay in Florida or go elsewhere? Stay in Florida or go elsewhere. That is Boo Boo Zen Kitty right there. Okay. My co-host. He comes by every once in a while, but generally speaking, this is prime nap time of the day. Stacy, what is the mood of the staff in the White House now that Trump is gone? Oh, I read about this within the past couple of days. It was this, okay, but everybody, the whole atmosphere in the White House is gearing up. Like, okay, we're going to be efficient. We're going to do things right. We're going to be on top of things. Biden's going to have more state dinners, more proper. I don't think people are running out and getting fast food. I think they're having sandwiches at their, he's having a sandwich in the meeting with everybody's having sandwiches in the meeting kind of thing. Yeah, I don't know why that came out all convoluted, but it did. That's what I've been getting on that. So, okay, JM. Sorry, I feel like terrible when I'm not answering the questions you bring up, but I have to go by what I can answer. JM, how are you? Frazzled, but I'm okay. How will Bernie Sanders do as head of the Senate Budget Committee? Okay. How will Bernie do as head of Senate Budget Committee? Okay, got that down for number 6. Andrea, I'd like to know what Trump's letter said to Biden. Didn't I look at this? I got that. I did look at this. I got that he it was mostly dictated to him. Like maybe Ivanka was there, or somebody is saying, okay, you should say this, you should say this, and he was just, I'm not going to say that. Like just looking, like making it clear, I'm not going to. It's like, well, okay, so say this. Okay, I got that it was dictated, and it's not. It's barely gracious is what I got. So that's that. Yeah, that's what I've been getting for that. So okay. Early Mercury retrograde glitches. Yikes. Oh, Eliza. Absolutely. Okay. So YouTube, this thing just jumped and it has dumped me out. Aaron's son. Will traditional Republicans break away from the crazies, form a new reformed reformed Republican Party? I was reading an article today and I saved it. I've got the information on my phone, but it was, whew, there are even more players, there are even more people involved, and there were this whole thing, what was really going on at the Pentagon, and it's crazy. It's, when it comes all starts coming out, it's just going to be. But anyway, Kim, does Tiffany have a future in politics? She seems open-minded, besides she's a lawyer. Tiffany, future in politics. All right, that's number 8 for today. 8 out of 12. Let's see here. And DLC, the DOJ and FBI said that I think you meant, forgive me, but you've got a lot of typos in what you wrote. So I'm guessing what you said was that the DOJ and FBI said they let a lot of writers off because we're too many to charge, maybe at the time. But these idiots' revolution was televised, as 'twere, on the internet. Okay. Oh, Jazzy Sophie, thank you. Thank you, Maria. Appreciate it. All right. Michelle, are all the Senate committees to be run by Democrats? Yes, because they have the majority. Yep. That's how it works. Yay. Thank heavens. Okay, Maria, Sweet Autumn. Is Fox News... You guys are so kind. I don't know why you're calling me Sweet Autumn, but thank you. It's nice. That's very sweet. It's just, I don't know where that came from, but it's cute. All right. Anyway, Sweet Autumn. Is Fox News going to be reined in? I mean, start to be shut down, restricted, slap with lawyers. I read on that yesterday. Oh no, it was toward the end of Fridays. It was at 50, right around the 50-minute, 50.50:30, 50-minute 30-second news point. In Fox News, will they be able to continue on with the crazy, or will they be able to, will they be reined in? Fairness doctrine, I've been reading on that too. So I got, there are going to be some limitations. There are going to be some, they're going to start running into some problems. But they're going to continue to be a pain in the tuchus, unfortunately. So, Ed, I don't know what that is, I'm afraid. I'm sorry. Sally Mount, where's Nunes? In the cow barn? We haven't heard from him. Why would you want to? Why? He's been quiet. Good. Nunes. All right. Has been quiet. Okay. Cheryl, can you look into, oh, Cheryl, that's multiple readings, multiple questions. I have looked at the, yeah, I've looked at basically where he is now that he's gone. He's in a very, very dark place. His death, I got, the number of times I've read on Epstein's death, I got that he did it himself, but he was pushed emotionally, logically, emotionally pushed. And that's what I picked up. Now, whether somebody came in and was able to do something, I don't know. But what I picked up was that it was just this, it would be better. It would be better if you did this. It would be better if you did this. It'd be better. You should do this. This will save you so much trouble. This will You're going to be in so much pain. This is all going to be really awful. This is I mean, it was just pushing. That's what I picked up. So,Odiana and Famous Men. Well, when is Ghoulane's, I call her that, Ghoulane. When is her? June? Is her stuff coming out in June? We may need to look at that closer to the day. Whew. Yeah, there are a few things that there are a few things I don't read on at all, like serial killers, and directly on Vladimir Putin, who has the energy of a serial killer. And I need very specific reasons to look at what happened to the children at the border, and a lot of the Epstein-Ghoulane stuff. Basically, damage to children. I will read on it, but it takes a huge toll, and I basically end up sitting here crying. So if there's something coming up in the news, I'm all for it. I'll read on it. But wow, and both topics have come up today. So, but there, I've shared some information. Hopefully that will be enough for today. But we'll get back to it. We always do. But since there's nothing pressing at the moment, we're still waiting for that monster's trial. And thank you. Biden is in power now, and they're actually doing everything they can to reunite children with their families. Let's hope we're moving in such a positive direction that it's going to be okay. Thank you, Sheila. Ed, the fate of the insurrection lawmakers. Oh, I've been reading on those. It very much depends on which ones in particular, because it seems like they have different fates depending on how much power they have, how much influence they have, who they know. Scary Harpy, Boo Boos, and Kitty, the co-host that sleeps the most. Well, the rate I'm going, and I'm just gonna go, okay, I'm done. I'm gonna walk back there, and I'm just gonna crawl up around him and just be like, well, I'm done. Anyway, Cindy, can you see how Biden and Harris are feeling today? Overwhelmed, angry at what's being uncovered, like just what a mess it is. I can see if I can get anything more specific, but in general, How are Biden Harris feeling today? Okay. All right, got that down for number 10, so I can take 2 more questions. Calibri Flyer, will Barr be investigated as being complicit in Sniffy's corruption? Well, I mean, look at the Mueller report. Will Barr I want to know. Let's start with obstruction of justice. In the Mueller Report redactions, and other Trump things. Okay, got that down for 11. We'll have a look at that. Indivisible San Francisco, hello. Oh, several questions. We'll see if I can read any of them. We've got one more slot. Several readers are seeing a huge awful event to befall the U.S. brought in by Trump, his followers. They're not done. Trump winning? No, Trump is not going to win. No. No, oh, nay, nay. Oh, nay, nay. No. A huge, awful event. Trump and followers. A huge, awful event. To befall the U.S. I could make really tasteless jokes about, the worst things that could happen to the U.S. Something about, oh, that would be very rude. Anyway, just something about Trump's trousers, and I'm leaving it at that. I'm moving on. Okay. Thank you, KD. All right. Well, I've got my 12 questions for today, so I'm just going to go on from here. I'm just going to take these and see what I can do with them. But I'm here every day. Seriously, I'm here every day of the year. And if I don't read on your questions, quite often, I'm back tomorrow. Try again, and we'll see if there's anything there, and I'll go by my intuition, and we'll see what we can do. And I give up. It's just one of those days. Okay. All right. I'm going to go down to new comments and all right. Sally Autumn Bailey sends her best. Oh, Bailey. Do you have a Bailey boo too? That's my Bailey boo. Because that was his name when he came to me. Bailey. He was found, the name of the street, he was found abandoned and less than a year old, and he was found on Bailey Street. He's completely alone and starving. So, Bailey Boo Boo Zen Kitty, his full name. So anyway. Oh, kitten. All right. And we've got to look at Charles Flynn. This still feels like it's a mess. Tarot Sheila, I love that you use Centennial for your readings. Those are great cards. Oh, thank you. I use different decks at different times, but I'm really on a Centennial kick at the moment. All right, I'm just going to do a Baker's Dozen because Charles Flynn. I mean, I tried reading on him, but we'll see. But right now, we're starting with, yay, Rand Paul, 30. Rand Paul, how much influence will Rand Paul have going forward? And Moss, I love your cat. He's such a good cat. Oh, thank you. Inquisitive Terror. My favorite is the borderless. Oh, yeah. I use those a lot. So, Sally Mount, Bailey Sarian. Oh, nay. Exactly. That's why I use that expression. She's so cool. I hope she starts posting videos again. Anyway. All right, I'm done shuffling. Rand Paul. The perils of reading on politicians every day. I don't even know that he likes himself, let alone if anybody else likes him. It's like, why have you got a justice card, Miranda Paul? Oh, are you going to try to grandstand at the impeachment again? Didn't he grandstand at the last impeachment? Trump's last impeachment, since he's had two. Sheila, his dad was annoying too. He's a pain. You're not gonna get much argument from me. Rand Paul. Named after Ayn Rand, of course. The virtue of selfishness. He's always on the defensive. Never warmed up to the Trump stuff. This is a card of retirement, vacation to retirement. Sorry, my shoulders tightened up. When does he come back up for re-election? Because I've got a vacation to retirement card right in the middle, and I've got an ending here, but that might be the end of the Trump era. Let's see what else I can get. Katie, I wish they would quit asking Rand Paul anything about anything. Renee, he's a seditionist. But we talk about the people who attacked the Capitol building being seditionists. But I think Rand Paul is a seditionist from before, entertainment only. But I think he's like, but 2022. Thank you, Rand Paul. Your future in office. Does he have a day job to go back to? He frustrates everybody. And must they get offended when you call them seditionists? Seditionists. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me. Oh, Gina, Rand Paul is still saying the election was illegitimate. He's he's an optometrist. I thought he had a different job. Thank you, Terry. Veterinarian? Oh, okay. Either way. He likes to swim, goes to the gym a lot. Uses his brain as a flotation device. This is victory election day related to the Biden administration. He's there's a lot of the money is going where the love's going, and his fundraising isn't fantastic. I keep vacation ending victory on election day, but the one Republican card here, the Pentacles, is the card of lack. It's also the card of the miser, but it's a card of lack. Yeah, I think his going forward is, I thought his seat was about as safe gets, but I don't know. I don't actually know. I only know so much about him, and I have, very strangely for me, because I'm usually a very curious person. I mean, look at me, I'm a very curious person. But no, I mean, like, I get curious about things. And I have no curiosity about him. I feel like I've hit my threshold of knowledge that I want, but yikes. Me too, inquisitive. All right, so, all right. 36. Oh, this should get interesting. 30, well, it's more like 37. More evidence against Trump coming up during the impeachment. Well, sorry, that was noisy. I will share this morning. Where was it? Meeting with the president. I think I want to say it was the first thing. This was from an article. I believe this is the article. The president threw us under the bus, embedding with Pentagon leadership in Trump's chaotic last week, by Adam Suralski. And I would love to tell you where this was published, but I don't have it on the picture. That's very strange. Sorry. Anyway, on the evening of January 5th, the night before the white supremacist mob stormed Capitol Hill, the acting Secretary of Defense Christopher Miller was at the White House with his chief of staff, Kash Patel. They were meeting with President Trump on, quote unquote, an Iran issue, Miller told me. But then the conversation switched gears. The president, Miller recalled. All right, so this is the acting Secretary of Defense. Thank you, Sherby. Oh, is that? Thank you, Bishardis. Thank you. Sorry. All right, acting Secretary of Defense Christopher Miller, and with his chief of staff. So Miller recalled, the president asked how many troops the Pentagon planned to turn out the following day. We're going to provide any National Guard support that the district requests, Miller responded. And Trump goes, you're going to need 10,000 people. No, I'm not talking expletive. He said that, and we're like, maybe, but someone's going to have to ask for it. At that point, Miller remembered the president telling him, quote, you do what you need to do. You do what you need to do, he said. You're going to need 10,000. I could not recall the last time a contingent that large had been called up to supplement law enforcement at all, much less at a demonstration. The Women's March, Million Man March spring to mind. And so I asked the acting SCCDEF why Trump threw out such a big number. The response was the president's sometimes hyperbolic. As you've noticed, there were going to be 1 million people in the street, I think was his expectation. Miller maintained the initial reports on the anticipated crowd size were all over the map, anywhere from 5,000 to 40,000. Park police, everybody's so hesitant to give numbers. So anyway, there's all kind of stuff. Miller, decades in special operations. He was hoping the day would be prove uneventful, but it was the first day I brought an overnight bag to work. My wife was like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I don't know when I'm going to be home." And they were on autopilot for most of the day. We talked to the president. We had talked to the president in person the day before, on the phone the day before, and 2 days before that. We were given clear instructions. We had all our authorizations. We didn't need to talk to the president. I was talking to Mark Meadows nonstop that day. Worth reading. Anyway, so there are all kinds of people, even Trump people that Trump specifically put in place, who have all kinds of thank you, Ashley. They have all kinds of information that's going to come out. So the question here is, is more evidence against Trump going to come out during his Senate impeachment trial? Yes. Is it going to be, excuse the language, but I mean it in the actual meaning of the word, will it be damning? So, because all kinds of things are going to be scrutinized. All kinds of things. It was heartbreaking and sad and terrifying. And who said what? Communication. This is the card of communication. This is Trump sending all of his wands flying through the air. And doing very little about it, while the rancor got worse and worse and worse, and doing very little. This is what he could have done. This is what he could have called upon. He could have done something about. Very, very little was done. So him saying you're going to need 10,000, but somebody has, and he was told somebody has to call for it, and he didn't. He was told somebody has to call for it. And it's Pence who finally had to do it. Is more going to come out? Yes. And there are people we've never heard of, or people we've only heard of in passing. I mean, that's the thing about Trump has made messes everywhere he's gone. There are Trump org messes. There are Trump family finance messes. There are personal attack, allegedly attacking women messes, campaign violation messes, inauguration fund messes. There's other stuff he's done while in office messes. There's the interfering in the Mueller investigation stuff. There's that mess. There's just, it's so much. And there's so many people to keep straight in your head. And it's just, and they're all, and he's just thinking positive and think happy thoughts and everything will be fine. And we'll just pay them off. It'll all go away. Actually, that's what I like to look at right now. Just a second. 40, 45. Huh. We're starting at 45. Is everything going to come back and haunt Trump at once, as it were. Is everything coming home to roost? Okay, let's have a look. See, like the Mueller report happened during a Mercury retrograde. Yes, it came out during a Mercury retrograde. Exactly. Lucky girl. And for entertainment purposes only. Thank you for being here, lucky girl. And yes, it is. Are all of these things going to come back and haunt Trump? Basically, is 4-6 months from now, is this going to be the summer of his discontent? Spring or summer of his massive, huge discontent? I alone can fix it. Yeah, and you alone can take responsibility for messing it up. Whoops, sorry. Oh, okay. The man lies like a rug. We know that. He's caused confusion to obfuscate all the garbage he's done. But there's a new DOJ in town. And Trump's just tripping along, tra-la, tech with all of you. That's what he's doing right now. But the star, literal star, it's not literal, celebrity star being suspended. This idea that he's going to go from famous to infamous to horror story cautionary tale of, I mean, he's gonna go down with people like Hitler. It just how much damage he does, how many families he destroyed. The fact that we have over 400,000 Americans dead. This is not good. His happy little happiness. Yeah, that's, to say the least, major arcana. You're done. You're done. Yeah, okay. Well, we're going to look at something more specific. 49. All right, so Biden has stopped the permit. He rescinded the permit for the pipeline. And the question was, will Biden compensate the XL pipeline, Canadian workers on the XL pipeline? Will he compensate Canadian workers? I've got this, there's the Biden administration is much better about taking care of people. Action being taken, that's a set amount of money. That's a plan. The energy's quite good. This is the pipeline, apparently. Makes sense, but that's the pipeline. It's a new day. It feels good. So for what it's worth, that's what I'm getting there. So, all right, 50-30. Will Stephen Miller's Jewish ancestors haunt him? He's so awful. He's so awful. Calibri Flyer, any chance of The Hague indicting Sniffy of human atrocities? We talked about this the other day. It went back and forth in the chat for quite a while, and basically the U.S. didn't sign up for those treaties, so the World Court doesn't have jurisdiction or something. I don't. You'd have to ask the others. The very, very intelligent people who are much better informed on that sort of thing than I am. So, 51. Will Stephen Miller's Jewish ancestors haunt him? They have a few things to say. Just yes. I don't like him. I don't know. You know how siblings or just family in general can in some respects be the most insulting, but it's also there's a fondness, or they want you to do well. There's a goodness underneath it, but they will read you for filth if they feel like they should. There's much swearing. Where did he go wrong? What is he thinking? The family, if it should temper did it, but he's not, and okay. The answer is yes. Okay, thank you. I know I do appreciate it. I do. Bless and bless. But the kids are going to be cute. Okay. I bet they are. $53, $30. Will Trump stay in Florida or go elsewhere? Oh, Katie, that question about the World Court and being pulled in, you'd have to. That's a Google question. That's nothing I could help you with, I'm afraid. Will Trump stay in Florida? Or go elsewhere? Oh, everything above board. Everything T's crossed, I's dotted, by the book. Everything by the book. I gotta tell you, if he's actually held accountable, I really think I might just cry in relief. This is traveling. This is like New York. This is the death of his old life, and all of us being very emotional. Everybody being very emotional about this. His karma coming back, what he's put out there coming back. He's very much on the defensive as he travels. I'm going to double check on this, but it feels very New Yorkish. Oh, I'm getting enjoy going golfing while you can. I'm getting he's going to look back at this time, and he's going to, it's one way or the other. It feels like he's going to have like a schedule or where he goes or what he's doing dictated to him. He's not just going to be able to just do whatever he feels like whenever he feels like it. And he thought dealing with the Secret Service was keeping him hemmed in. It's New York, but it's also different parts of the government, the U.S., the federal government too. Star travel. I'm getting New York. Him being out in the world, being suspended. Sitting pretty, he's fine, but no, this is traveling back where he, in theory, should have plenty of buildings and things, places to go and things to do, and it doesn't. So does Trump end up back in New York? Severely empty coffers. Oh yeah, I think it would be on trial and things like that. Severely, sort of, it was a matter of time. Having severe money troubles because of how much he's lost, plus things being seized, money laundering, fraud, sort of truth, big sort of truth, huge, large. Yeah. Pack your bags, Trumpy. Your business practices, your dynasty upended. I think he's going to lose Mar-a-Lago. That's what I'm getting. Okay, let's switch back over to, we're at 59. How will Bernie do as the head of the Senate Budget Committee? Thank you for being here. Aaronson, I'm surprised Trumpy hasn't started selling off properties yet. I think he's having trouble selling off properties. Probably wonder, will Trump's ankle bracelet affect his golf swing? Just like that. Bernie, how are you going to do as the head of the Senate Budget Committee? Working very hard. Oh, so much paperwork. So much stuff to read through. He needs more staffers. money was stolen and given to the corporations that should have been given to the. Yep. It's a change. It's a big change in the way of looking at things. Trump's view of give to the rich, this whole Republican thing, yeah, that's not gonna work for us. Now it's going to be Democratic policies stopping of this type of thing, and a very, very different perspective for America. I think it's going to be slightly revolutionary. Holly. Hey, Holly always has great astrology information for us. Bernie Sanders, September 8th, 1941. Virgo Sun, Scorpio Rising, Aries Moon. Well, Scorpio Rising would explain that dear, great, gussy article he wrote in his university school paper. Oh, man. But, hey, Becca, how are you? I think he's going to do fine. But it's going to be a different way of looking at things. So, all right, 10230. Basically, is there going to be a new reformed Republican Party? Are they going to go, oh, no. We are the Republicans. This is what we believe. You bag of nuts can just go find a squirrel. Just follow, just go with the squirrels. New reformed Republican Party. Hey, Becca, you missed Will Stephen Miller's Jewish ancestors haunt him. That was funny. Anyway, or yesterday was really funny. Nostradamus toward the end. Anyway, new reformed. Yeah. Because unfortunately, and it makes me crazy, apparently I now have a card of white nationalism. Bunch of garbage. Bullpucky. That's what that is. Anyway. Trump was in control. He was absolutely in control. But ultimately, they ended up losing power because of Trump. So Trump ends up on the defensive. Actually, it feels like if they just wait long enough, that I think a lot of the power is actually just going to revert back to. It's like, well, if we're going to vote, if we're going to do something, then we have to choose a side. So we go back to the Republican Party, perhaps. Yeah, and most Republicans actually want the seditionists. They want the people who are really causing the problems to be sent up the river. Basically, is the expression, to get into legal trouble for what they did. So the Republican Party is out in the wilderness, and they got themselves out there. You followed the Pied Piper. You chose willingly. You willingly followed the Pied Piper, and then you find yourself in the wilderness. But we're going to work hard. But it's this whole stain of disgusting white supremacy that is, it's taking a lot of your power, and it's stopping enough small c conservatives from joining in with what the Democrats are suggesting. So, yeah, I'm not getting as much of a long-term split, but their main problem is the white supremacist extremists. That's their big problem, and there are a lot of people who are white supremacists who, but if you told them they were racist, they would say they aren't. They'd swear up and down they aren't. They don't want to think of themselves that way, and those are just regular. They're just there are a lot of Republican voters who are racist, but you can't talk to them. They say, "Of course I'm not." And the birtherism against Barack Obama, it's just reality. There's nothing racist about that. Okay. Moving on. Okay. 107. Does Tiffany have a future in politics? Gosh, I wish she would go away. I had maybe a drop of sympathy for her. Literally, just not literally, but just a drop. Tiny amount of sympathy. And she basically showed up at the Republican National Convention and gave her speech. And as far as I'm concerned, she basically just set fire to that whole thing. And that little drop of sympathy just evaporated. And now I have none. Rod Siebel. Tiffany just got engaged to a billionaire. A real one, not like her dad. And they had a healthy 8-pound pot roast. Tiffany is not as nice as she's made out to be. I mean, she's basically, if you stand next to a whole bunch of cobras and rattlesnakes and all this kind of thing, and you're standing there, by comparison, you look pretty harmless. But the human standing there might be just as bad. She's not as nice as people say she is. She turned into who was it? Who said that? I'm giving you guys credit. Alice saying she turned into a Javanka clone at the RNC. Yep. Hey. Future in politics, actually, if anything, it would be something more law related, but I think more straight up law related. But mainly what I'm getting are pages. I think she's going to do the parent thing. A little bit of law related stuff. It's not a good climate for her to get into politics. Holly saying, Tiffany Trump, Libra Sun, Capricorn rising, Virgo moon. Uranus and Neptune conjunct in Capricorn in the first house. Okay. And it's just, she's going to have children. And that's going to be her world for a while. And yeah, I'm not getting the big. That's what I'm getting. Somebody was asking about Nunes. I don't know why. But sure, let's look at Nunes. Devin Nunes. It's a shame because Devin's a great name. I know a woman, Devan. Beautiful name. Devin. Yuck, the cow. He's a very emotional thing, isn't he? I mean, I can't talk. I'm a Sun, Scorpio, Moon, Cancer, Mars, and Pisces. But he is an emotional little thing. He's such an idiot. He's such an idiot. Did you guys ever see the TV show Justified with Timothy Oliphant? Because there was a character on there. Oh, what was his name? But he was an idiot. He was a complete idiot. He wasn't the main villain. He was Dwight? No. I forget. But anyway, that idiot, that's Nunes. Oh, Timothy Oliphant is a great actor. I agree. But thinking he'd be some big, bad, tough, yeah, he just didn't. He's the when the bad guys are coming in, and he's the one who falls in the first trap. He's like out of the scene, like first thing. He thought he was going places because he was affiliated with Trump, and he was going to do all this stuff, but it's over. Dewey, that was it. Dewey Crow. Thank you. Hang on. Lowell, Mars and Pisces means infidelity? I beg your pardon. It does not. I have Mars and Pisces. Au contraire. No, it doesn't. It does mean people who make good caretakers. But anyway. Becca's saying Nunes was just dumb. He was suiting a cow on Twitter who does that. What do you mean suiting? Like, I don't quite understand. Oh, if badly aspected in a man's chart. Anyway, Nunes. So what's going to happen to Nunes? Suing type. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, the Devin Nunes' cow. Yeah. Sheila's saying I can't figure out astrology. My sister can, but I'm lost. I tend to. I explain it now and then. Just break it down, try to make it as absolutely understandable as possible. He really risked it all for Trump. And he thought it was going to mean great things, but yeah, he's Dewey Crow from Justified. But he's like, but come back. He's still there, but he's floundering, and he's going to flounder because he's still equated. Meanwhile, the Democrats, they're getting stuff done. Things are getting moving. People are making new alliances. Things are changing, and he's just on the defensive. And He's an idiot. Seriously. That man is dumb as a rock. Okay. 116. How are Biden and Harris feeling today? Overwhelmed. Let's have a look. How are Biden and Harris feeling today? I've shown you guys. Oh no, it's over there. I've got that big planner that I use. It's like their planners have planners. Their assistants with their planners have assistants with planners to have the. It's purge everything Trump. Thank heavens he's not in the White House messing stuff up. Continuing, they're so angry. They are incandescent with rage at the mess he has made, the damage he has done, the basic things that have been corrupted on purpose, or and other things just that withered from neglect. And because you have to remember, Biden knows how it was. He knows what they left Trump with. He knew basically how things worked and what things were set up. And oh, he's mad. Oh, they're mad. They're both mad. She's just as mad as he is. But got stuff to do. I'm getting agenda stuff. I'm getting get money to the people, get food. The increase in food stamps, I think they just did. Trying to get some accountability. Trying to get the IGs back in place, the inspector generals back in place across the government. Pay for more vaccines, getting them out. Trying to get the money sorted, the funding sorted. Republicans are actually over here going into. It's like Biden and Harris over here, and they can see the Republicans headed toward this some kind of legal or ethical brought out in the open, some kind of hearings or law or something, or some kind of heartbreak, but the Republicans are headed for that. And they're like, well, okay, well, we can't rely on them to help us anyway. So they're going to do whatever they're going to do. What's going to come up is going to come up. We've got so much to do. They're overwhelmed. They're overwhelmed, but they're in the deep end. But they are fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting. So, oh man, Trump Presidential Library. Did someone just actually say anything about the Trump Presidential Library? Trump Presidential. This is the Trump Presidential Library right there. It's a partial pack of Post-it notes. That's the Trump. That's the Trump library. Anyway, 120. Oh, Renfield. Bill Barr. Bill Renfield Barr. Are you going to face obstruction of justice charges or be held accountable for other things done for Trump? Yeah, crayons. You guys are funny. William Barr. He's really worried about his daughter, I believe. Barr thinks it over. He's like, there was an election, it went through, that's that, I'm done. But just because he thinks he's done doesn't mean he's done. Oh, he did everything. He did everything for Trump. He bent over backwards for Trump. That's at the center of this. Bent over backwards for Trump. So his family members would have access to good things and what have you. But he's very much going to end up on the defensive about the actions he took for Trump. Well, but that's on the defensive. That's not. I mean, I'd think they would go after him for obstruction of justice for what he did with the Mueller report, trying to redact everything, keep everything away from the Democrats. He didn't have a right to do that. Bill Barr, obstruction of justice. Get the popcorn. That's what it feels like. But let's see what the cards say. His daughter is very ill, and that's all he cares about right now. Some of these people are monsters and barely care about their own kids, but no, he cares. He cares. I give him that. The burden of the Mueller report, what he did to the Mueller report, and he's going to be very, very upset about what happens because of the actions he took for Trump. He thinks he's just gonna, I'm out, I'm done, that's it. He tried everything he could, and he tried to he tried to hide everything in the Mueller report that he could. He tried to kick over he tried to get rid of as much of the ammunition the Democrats would have had against Trump and his minions. But he couldn't get it all, and now it's coming back. And boy, is it going to come back. And the mostly unredacted Mueller report is going to cause much upset, boy, this turned far-reaching. Let's see. All right, so I've got part of this story here, but what happens to Barr? What happens to Barr? Wow. I just got a pain down the side of my crown chakra. Grief. He's grieving. I don't know if his daughter's still with us or not. But he's already grieving. Was it worth it? Oh, to him it was. But I might want to rethink if it was really worth it. Well, he didn't have to answer questions before. He had refused, but times are changing. Back at the institutions, this temperance does not feel particularly beneficial to him. He's almost like, hey, I've been tortured by Trump himself. You know, good luck what you can throw at me. But it doesn't feel like he... Well, I think I'll just leave him alone after this because he's. I'll leave him alone for a while. He's grieving, and literally the idiots behind him. Sad, and bless his daughter, bless the family. And after that, he'll eventually end up back on the defensive and having to communicate. But let's just let the poor man grieve. I don't wish that on anybody. 1:26:30. Trump. Okay, someone was saying that Trump and followers say some huge. So some readers apparently are saying that some huge awful event will befall the U.S. because of Trump and his followers. Yes, and then what came into my head was a very inappropriate something about, some huge awful event happening and something about Trump's trousers falling down. But anyway, that would be traumatic. That would be a scarring occurrence. Polly Wanda, you will be reported to the authorities now. Pardon? I'm not getting. I got a temperance card. Most of them are actually, they're like, I don't want to be a part of this. The really organized ones are like, I don't want to be part of this. And I want to, live on to fight another day. And a lot of the others, the FBI is going after them. They thought they were following Trump, but he betrayed them. And on the defensive, feeling beaten up. This feels like the Capitol. This feels like the Capitol. Has them more on the run, as it were. So, let's see. Sheila is saying, sorry, it jumped. Okay, I'm not sure what exactly happened there, but anyway, I'm not picking up on something like that. I mean, there might be some lone wolf out there who's, but there's always some lone wolf who's an idiot. Most people just want to go back. They just want to go back to their lives. They just want, they just want to go on from this. Most people just want justice for Trump. They want people held accountable. I'm not getting huge towery stuff. And is that death card, was that just for the Capitol? The Capitol incident? Yeah, those disgusting morons. Yeah. Trump's lies. Being handed the lies. Told to take their weak little selves and go forth. That's what that was. They're just vile. That's about all I'm getting there. All right, so I'm going to end on Charles Flynn, 1:30:30. What's going to happen to Charles Flynn? Let's see here. a little odd, but we can't go back. Oh no, I understand we can't go back. But most people, they want their lives to go back as much as possible to before the pandemic, before the constant worry. When there was any possibility that Hillary's emails could mean anything. And I know we got over that quickly, but just even in general. I mean, we look back at it now and it's like, you were upset about what? Charles Flynn. 31. Charles Flynn. What's going to happen to Charles Flynn? What's going to happen to Charles Flynn? Oh, definitely some heartache in that family. Well, he's what, a 3-star general, something like that. There are going to be all kinds of people looking into what happened that day. And he's going to have to testify and on and on. He's already dealing with some grief because of his brother and him being questioned because of what his brother's done and what his brother does in general. So there's that. I'm just suspension. Decisions made about his career because of following. Now, was he following the Orange Shah, or basically is he dirty like his brother to some extent? Oh, one card went flying. Hold, please. Oh, it's a card of communication. Does he love Russia and Trump and all of that? Or does he think his brother's an embarrassment? Oh, I can't find his birth time. Oh, fair enough. All of his accomplishments. And sorry. Sorry. My throat's dry. Oh, questions. I'm getting him. He's on some kind of suspension. I get him on some kind of suspension. There's an insult to injury right in the middle. Why does this feel like a? Let me, before I say the words, let me have a qualifier. Hang on. Seems a little extreme. I was getting energy here of a court-martial. Seems a little extreme. But, and his prospects very much tumbling. Trump, the Trump dynasty, the Trump legacy, the Trump way of doing things. All things in the name of Trump. A lot of things done in the name of Trump. This is the King of Wands, and these are wands. It's a lot. And then I've got a star. And a King of Pentacles, which makes me wonder. I don't know. I don't know what's possible. I don't know how this works. I'm just going to tell you what I think this means. What I seem to be getting is that he is going to end up in some kind of trouble where it sounds like maybe he'll lose a star and be like discharged, or I don't. We'll look again in future, but it's just, yes, God, losing a star, something like that. Flynn's up for promotion. Perhaps that is suspended, says David Martini. That could be it. That would make sense. But is Charles Flynn going to end up in civilian life? End up a civilian in the next couple of years? Charles Flynn. All right. On the defensive because of everything Flynn and Trump. We knew that. Groups of conservatives. Being conservative, but this is the communication of party line, what have you. But I've got a death card in the middle. It's wrongful death suits. It's murder trial stuff. Why weren't you there? Why didn't you call for help? This is decisions made for Trump. People died. Yeah, I don't know if he's going to get convicted, but I'm getting court-martial and being demoted and being told to pack his stuff. But anyway, this is going to go on for a while. But anyway, that's going to do it for me for today. But thank you for being here. I'm here 7 days a week, day in and day out. I'm just pulling a few cards right here. Thank you to our troll slayers. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, this whole thing, there's so much that's going to come out. And your head just starts spinning from all the different names. And yeah, it just seems very crazy. But, and people seem very stubborn and pig-headed. But really just go back to basics is what this feels like. Just go back to basics. You know, make a to-do list, things you want to get done, work your way through it. Make sure you have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Have a vegetable, have a piece of fruit today. Just very reasonable. Get some steps in if you can. That sort of stuff. Get some sleep. And just steady. Slow and steady is going to win this race, okay? All right, so we're in this together. All right, so hang in there, and I'll see you tomorrow, okay?